Today we're going to be launching the UniPods, right? Many of you are innovators. You're here from industry, right? But when we look around the world at innovation centers, we see that these become future economic growth drivers. And what do we mean? There's a nexus point that's needed where innovation and research can meet support and relevance, where talent can meet the right tools, where industry has a place to go to see how some of the biggest problems localized to Nigeria are being solved by innovators. And then, of course, government, setting the pace, policy, and frameworks. Not forgetting our developmental partners. The biggest piece which enables us to de-risk all of that innovation. Today, we're bringing all of that together in a powerful, not just building, but initiative. And these are the UniPods. We're going to be talking about 7 of them that are launching. Today is the flag off with the AI UniPod right here at Unilag. But the other 6 of them are going to be dotted around the country, emphasizing the importance of each of the geopolitical zones. And each of these zones are peculiar because they're solving different problems. This is how Nigeria moves from its current position into future economic growth. This is also part of the federal government's renewed hope agenda. And many of you, we're pleased to say, are also going to be part of that journey. So welcome once again. My name is Oluseyi. If you see the screens, we're currently hosting 32 innovators who have come from all over the country to showcase what it looks like to build using new tools and AI. So we're currently showcasing problems and solutions in agriculture, in mining, in robotics, in healthcare, in recycling. Many of these people have had to overcome problems that were local to them, but in turn are building solutions that are going to go global. What do you think?
Absolutely, and I must say, Shay, it is such an honor and a privilege to be young, African, and here today. Can I hear it, everybody? Students, I know you're in there. Can I hear some noise, please? No, that's not good enough. A little louder? Yeah, that's more like it.
There we go.
And that's the spirit of young people. In Africa, I think it's such a beautiful, as young people, we decide to look at the world through a really unique perspective and angle. And that angle is not to be confined by geography, but to choose to be expanded by possibility. And that's why we have this innovative spirit in Nigeria and across Africa. And every day, as young people, we demonstrate that we're not interested in finding our world in the place, our place in the world. Instead, we dare to shape it, pull a seat to the table, and make it work for us on our own terms. So today we convene to shape the future we want, the future we deserve, and what better place to do so than in Echo, Lagos.
Yep. Unilag right here.
So we gather in Lagos, which is a living current of energy, where every street hums with possibility, every mind carries a spark. Lagos moves differently, doesn't it? I mean, I've been around a few states, and I have to say, Lagos is a little bit different. The energy is a little bit different in here. And I say that because there's something about Lagos and Lagosians that you dare to dream, you're bold, and you build in real time. And I say that because you're not confined by anything. It's the spark and it's the idea that keeps pushing forward. So today we take part collectively in a strategic but timely convergence. Friends, colleagues, partners, distinguished guests. We allow our talent and our ideas for a change to take flight. We allow our creativity to compound, and we align forces through our strategic partnerships between the federal government, Lagos State Government, the University of Lagos, and UNDP, as well as other partners. Today in Lagos, we want to feel the energy in this room, but at the moment, I don't think I feel it. And I want you to be excited. I want you to feel a part of this, because a lot of this and a big part of this is about us co-creating together. So please, when we call on you, we want to feel that energy and that excitement. Is that all right?
There we go. I think one of the things that's going to be clear, right, is the magnitude of what we're doing today, right, as we go on. I, for one, have been looking forward to this day because it kind of crept up on me, actually, because for many, many years, right, I've worked in the deep tech sector, right? These are, as I said, future economic growth drivers. Usually, research is the breeding ground for the things that we need in the nation, both locally, but also as exports, right? And I think this is exactly where it's going to happen at Unilag. And nowhere better, right, than to start the AI revolution. Absolutely. I think we have, should we put up the video as well?
Let's do that. So let's immerse ourselves in a little bit of what we've been working on behind the scenes. So if we can get that audio visual up, that would be fantastic.
Okay, so right now I think we're hearing from one of the startups who's currently presenting his solutions to our VVIP partners, many of them responsible for what is happening here today.
Programming language, also learn coding, and then also literature on the platform. For Excellency, so far we have been able to reach out up to 2,000 students in Nigeria and also cover 5 states in Nigeria. And currently we are still in integration of our solution internally into the Ministry of Education and Procurement, so that every school in Nigeria can have access to AI-driven training.
One of the issues of waste in Nigeria, we have Logos Tech trying to share insights on what is doing around waste management. 1 minute.
We develop indigenous technology that convert waste into clean electricity. Our solution is patented. We have 7 additional patent rights of federal government of Nigeria, and we deployed our solution.
So just a summary of some of these startups that you're hearing from. We've got startups from EduTech, like Nigenius. This is one of the biggest STEAM platforms based in Abuja. They're equipping schools, teachers, and parents with robotics, tutoring, and future learning resources. A lot of those things seem like they've been done before, but to really enable students scale and reach a lot of this content, we need people like Nigenians, and they're doing that utilizing AI. We also have WeKoya, an AI-powered study companion that turns bulky course notes and slides into summaries and learning activities that can be utilized the way that people like to learn. We've also got health tech. One of the most interesting for me, FriendPal, which is an AI-driven mental health platform. This is seeing a lot of scale because a lot of people are increasingly seeing how important at every age. It is for AI to be able to support in areas like that. We've also got FinTech with Asusu Africa, Peer Money, Agritech, Dorcas Africa, Aviso, many of these you might have heard of, Tourism Tech, Data and Deep Tech, Manutech. What I like the most is the diversity, right, of use cases that is possible utilizing simple tools and complicated tools, right, across AI, robotics, and more. For many, many years, people have thought these things don't matter to us, right? When I first started out, a lot of people would say, maybe they should fix NEPA first, right, before we start looking at it. But many, many of us have moved on from that. And the great thing is that we've seen that scale in the fastest time possible. In just 3 years, Nigeria is becoming one of the fastest users, right, of AI tools. Whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, as well as Meta's platforms. So today we want to explore what that really means when many of you as students, right, many of you as innovators, many of you as industry, right, get your hands on the cutting edge of this technology. It's going to be quite exciting. So I think we'll be rounding up the AI marketplace pretty soon. And then we'll be welcoming our VVIP partners onto the stage so that we can kick off the program proper. Can we have some mics, please? Can we have some mics? I think what we're going to do is, you know how we all kind of hear a lot of words, right? We all hear a lot of, different kinds of terms. And sometimes we're not quite sure everybody is on the same, the same page, right? And I think for us, we want to make sure that everyone leaves here, right, fully understanding, right, all that matters to us when it comes to AI. But more than that, using that as a foundation, right, for the rest of what we're going to be seeing
the numbers are even
today.
worse.
So
access to specialist care is almost like is a delay and sometimes even impossible. And that's why we've deployed a telehealth platform that's powered with AI and automatically matches patients with specialists. So using their record, their previous data, their urgency data, or the symptoms presented. And with that, over the years, we've been able to impact over 500,000 lives. We have a network of 30,000 doctors in our platform. We've provided about 500 jobs, and we've even trained over 1,000 frontline workers at the primary health centers in AI triage usage. And what we are asking is that we are able to get partnership with the primary health care, National Primary Health Care Development Agency and the Federal Ministry of Health to deploy this platform, this AI-powered telehealth clinic across 5,000 PHCs in local communities, powered with satellite and solar power, like what we've done in previous centers, across 5,000 PHCs, and also trained people to handle this platform, and also facilitate of telemedicine via the National Health Insurance, and also expedite our telehealth guidelines and policies at the national level. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mobi Health.
Your Excellency, if we can just take a U-turn, make a U-turn. Right behind you, we have innovators um, in tourism, tech, as well as education. As Your Excellency, if we can move to Smile Superheroes. Who knew that we have superheroes in Nigeria? Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Excellency. In Nigeria, we have educational content that are less engaging for kids. How do you teach your kids how to brush their teeth daily? Kids learn through fun. So what we've done at Smart Superhero is through storytelling and immersive technology and animation, we're able to break down health concepts that can resonate with kids. So the goal is to ensure behavioral change in kids. So what we did was through storytelling, we introduced characters such as Anita and Kofi and the Water Cup. So Anita is a story of a girl who loves eating candy, but she doesn't take her teeth, she doesn't brush her teeth regularly. So because of those health choices, she had issues with her tooth and she needed to visit a dentist. So we did a storyline that also has an immersive simulation, such that when your kids try it on, they're able to understand what it means, to brush their teeth daily. So right now, what you're looking at is a simulation of data that you also express in a storybook. So once you read the book, we give you the simulation. As a parent, we watch the behavior change of your child. We come back to you to see that they're actually doing what they need to do every day. So that way, what we are trying to do is to ensure that health concepts through those generations, they're able to understand and it resonates well with them. So currently, we've translated this in 3 languages, Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. So any kid from anywhere in Nigeria, whatever language you speak, you're able to understand what is in the storybook. So this way, we're able to solve the problem. So thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, innovation doesn't just happen with adults. We also have children who are innovators. So I'm going to take you to Vibatics now so you can interact with the teenagers who are also innovators leveraging AI. Sorry.
Welcome, Your Excellency. I am Habiba Ibrahim. I am the founder of Viva6, where we take our young learners through a journey of not just being learners in the classroom, but we help them become ideators, innovators, and problem solvers for the Nigerian economy. Despite us having 45.6 million Nigerians schools, we find out that 53% of them still do not possess the requirements, the tools and skills that they need in the future and in the workforce. And that is why we launched Biba, a company that brings innovators, brings smart young Nigerians, and train them through a STEM and skills program where they create solutions for the Nigerian economy. Emmanuel here has built a text-to-speech. They can explain what they have built.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. This is Emmanuel Adioba. We have built an AI personal assistant that helps in education, that can solve the problem of lack of education in homes. So you can talk to it, and you can type to it, and it responds to you back. So like you ask it like question. Thank you.
Good day, Your Excellency. We are proud to present the Algorithm, a fully DIY robot that performs about 5 farming activities just in one, such as the weeding, the tilling, planting, watering, and it also has a mini storage system that counts agricultural produce in dozens. So here at my right-hand side, it is the agricultural storage system here at the back. It is a wireless touch. When it opens, it turns on the lid for farmer to see at night. When I touch the back, it closes. Here is the temperature system. It senses the farm temperature and humidity. It also senses wildfire in the farm using this sensor here. So The display number of produce, as you can see, is increasing by 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it counts in dozen. It has increased by 1, yes. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I think the real test of our collective support to the future of AI, this young generation, will be the translation of this prototype into a real machinery that can support our farmers in their local ecosystems. These young children, I call them children because they are our children, the leaders of tomorrow. They are not just doing outstanding work, they also need to be encouraged. And this is why we have platforms like the University Pod that will translate this idea into a prototype and that prototype into industry. We are therefore calling on government, all of us, every single person in this room, private sector, government, development partners, to not just walk through these rooms just as spectators. We need to invest in our children, in our youth, and in the country. As we know, we have no other place to go. In this room, for example, we have young people in the tourism ecosystem. Many of us have not traveled around Nigeria, even though we've been in Nigeria for a very long time. For someone like me, I've been married for over 14 years and I have not been to my husband's village. But today, I can see what my village looks like, at least that of my in laws. What am I trying to say? Job creation will not happen in rooms, it will happen in spaces like this, where we transform opportunity for young people into actionable results. We are therefore calling on you, Your Excellency, and distinguished guests, private sector, to support, encourage, and ensure that the visions here that we are building do not die in this room. We're going to be sharing, of course, after this session, all of the innovative solutions from here to your respective offices so that you can deepen your research and see how we can work collaboratively to ensure that every vision in this will die. On behalf of the young innovators here and many of them who could not speak, we are thanking you for the opportunity to have toured with us. And hopefully, after the session, some of you can come back here to engage with them directly and see how you can invest in their solutions. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's amazing. What really got to me is the fact that coming from such a young demographic, virtually all the solutions we are seeing are real world solutions that we discuss at the highest level of government. I mean, we're talking about healthcare, we're talking about post-harvest loss in the agricultural sector, food security, cold chain logistics. And I'm amazed that people this young are actually coming to grasp with some of them. I mean, we expected that kids given opportunity to do AI will be focusing more on how to improve their video gaming or something. So it's really, really very, very gratifying. And I can assure you that I already see a lot of potential in linking these young chaps up with some of the federal agencies that are supposed to be doing exactly this. I mean, you're talking of SMEDEN, you're talking of NANI, and so on and so forth. Ministry of Science and Technology has a whole barrage of agencies that are essentially meant to deal with this. So it's very, very gratifying. I mean, these are not job seekers; these are job creators, and this is very, very satisfying, and it absolutely, I believe, justifies the investment that has been made by the federal government into coming up with these UniPods. So thank you, everybody. We're absolutely very proud of you, and we hope we can create the platform for the engagement and support that the federal government can give to these young inventors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, innovators. A round of applause for our guests, please. We're heading to the auditorium, please. Kindly make way for our guests to go through the walkway. Thank you.
Okay. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. We will be having our VIP delegation moving over from the AI marketplace over to the main auditorium. Please, once we have them in the hall, I will crave your indulgence to please rise, and then we'll also take the national anthem. And of course, today, after the main launch, many of us will get the opportunity to visit the innovators at the AI marketplace, as well as the UniPod. I've been there myself. I've seen similar labs across, Silicon Valley, Stanford. I have to say, it is absolutely world class. There's a full makerspace. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, right, as we have the tour. But needless to say, it has everything needed for many of both innovators in the room, founders in the room, but also future innovators, like many students who are here. The key ingredients are all here. What will you build with it? This is about you. This is about the future of Nigeria. It's also important to note that, one of the things that we always say is that, Africa has the youngest, youth population, right? So we have the largest youth population around the world. And this has always been a trump card. This has always been, an advantage, right, for the continent. But many of us are also seeing a new trend, and this is the emergence of AI, right? What AI really does, if we don't move, is actually level the playing field. So as much as we like to say, Africa is, rich with youth, we have to make sure that youth is enabled, is equipped with the right tools to ensure that future that we've always dreamt about actually comes to pass. So many of you in this room, we're actually looking towards you. As we said, this is ground zero for that innovation. It starts here today and then moves to the rest of the country. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please, can we stand? Thank you very much. As we welcome to the podium His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff, Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadija. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause as they come in. We'd like to also recognize Her Excellency, Head of Civil Service of Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Walson Jack, OON MIN. Also joining them on the podium, thank you for that, His Excellency. Thank you, please, let's keep that up. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is certainly a momentous occasion. Can we also have to the stage the Executive Secretary, TETFund, Sonny Echono. We will be joined, thank you very much, sir. We will be joined by several more dignitaries as we move along. Would also like to recognize the UNDP Residents Representative, Elsie Atafo. Please let us also recognize the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Folasade Ogunsola, OON-FAS. This has been quite an impressive day already. And we want to congratulate Unilag as well for having the very first pod. As we mentioned, there are going to be 7 across the country. This is truly a landmark event. I would also, ladies and gentlemen, crave your indulgence one more time, please, if we can rise for the national anthem. Thank you. Okay, now we'll have a second anthem by the Unilag Choir.
University of Lagos, the rise, our fountain of excellence, our citadel of learning, when all of the front, oh, sound mind. In the truth,
Thank you very much. We love the spirit of Unilag. Okay, so I think, at this point, it's important for us to also, it'll be remiss of us to not introduce, we're in the house of the University of Lagos, so we'd also want to introduce some special guests and dignitaries in our midst today as well.
Thank you very much. Aligning myself with the well-established protocols, our Excellencies, distinguished guests,
Okay, so we just had walk into the room. The minister, the Honorable Minister of Education, ably represented by Professor Suwabia Said Ahmed, Minister of State for Education in Nigeria. Please a round of applause for her. Thank you very much. And welcome to many of our dignitaries who are here with us. We just want to also recognize Engineer Jani Ibrahim from the organized private sector of Nigeria as well. Please a round of applause. We also have D-Span Kwardim, Director, Education and Youth Development, Federal Ministry of Youth Development, representing the Honorable Minister of Youth, Conrad Ayodele Olawande. Thank you very much. We also have Dr. Saliu Bakare, Director, R&D Centers of Excellence at the TETFund. Thank you. We also have Bayo Adewolu, MD, CEO, Trim Limited, representing Mr. Aij Imokwede. Please, round of applause. We also have Sebastiana Terra from the Angolan Embassy. Thank you. Thank you for gracing us. We also have Sonia from the Netherlands Consulate, Lagos. She's the Policy Advisor, Entrepreneurship, Youth, Employment, and Healthcare. Please a round of applause for her. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Oluche. I would respectfully like to recognize some of our former Vice-Chancellors, Principal Officers who are here with us this wonderful morning. I'd like to recognize Professor Ayodele Francis Ogunye. A round of applause, please, for him. The 11th Vice-Chancellor of University of Lagos is here, Professor Rahman Adisa Adebelo, Fellow Academy of Engineering. The 12th Vice-Chancellor of University of Lagos is here, the Pro-Chancellor of Redeemers University, Professor Oluwatoyin Temitayo Ogundipe, FAS. With your kind permission, the Vice-Chancellor is here in company of members of the University of Lagos Management, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Development Services, Professor Folusho Ebun-Afolabi is here with us. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Management Services, Professor Olumuyiwa Adebanjo Falaye, Fellow Nigeria Academy of Letters. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academic and Research, Professor Matthew Olusoji Ilori, FAS, is here with us. Registrar and Secretary to the Governing Council of University of Lagos, Mrs. Victoria Abosede Wycliffe. A round of applause for her. The Bossa of University of Lagos, Ms. Olua Fumilola Yetunde Adekunle, FCA. A round of applause for her. The University Librarian, Professor Christopher Olatokunbo Okiki, CLN, is here with us. The Provost of the College of Medicine, Professor Ademola Ayodele Oremusu, is here with us. The Director, Academic Planning, Professor Olufunlayo Bameke, is here with us. The Director, Quality Assurance and Servicom Unit, Professor Olufemi Saibu, is here with us. Our former principal officers are here. The former Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academic and Research, Professor Oluwole Familoni, FAS, is here with us. The former Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Management Services, Professor Lucien Obinachukwu, is here with us. Our former Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academic and Research, Professor Bolanle Obo, is here with us this morning. The University Librarian, the former University Librarian, Professor Yetunde Zaid, CLN, is here with us. The former Registrar and Secretary to the Governing Council of University of Lagos and the Director, Office of Advancement, Dr. Taiwo Folasade by FNIM. Other deans who are here in their large numbers, the Dean of the School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Abraham Oshinobi, is here. The Chairman of the University of Lagos Sports Council is here with us this morning also, Professor Shoneye, and of course, every other directors, every other deans. Time will not allow me to run through this. You are all welcome. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. You're certainly all welcome to today's seminal event. My name is Oluseyi Shode Johnson. I'll be one of your illustrious MCs for today. Joining me is the beautiful...
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Elaf Gabara, and it's an absolute pleasure and privilege to be here on this special occasion today. So welcome.
We also want to recognize that it takes more than just one particular organization to put something together like this, right? And on this scale, because truly this is monumental. This is a continental level event that we are all part of today. And I think it'll be very evident as we go along. So we just want to once again say thank you to our partners and representatives from the federal government, from Lagos State government, the TETFund, University of Lagos, especially its leadership, but also the private sector. Many of you are leaders, captains of industry in your own right. Please, a round of applause for yourselves. Thank you.
I think you're forgetting the most important component.
Oh, no. That's a different one. That's a different one. No. So, if you are a student at Unilag, right, and you're a future innovator, can I hear you say, AI? Okay, all right. I don't think that was loud enough.
No.
All right, can I hear you say, because I can see a sea of youth in here, and also at the top as well. Can I hear you say, AI? There we go. Okay, it's going to be a really, really interesting day today. I mean, I think we have all the ingredients for innovation.
I think so. Honey, spice, and everything nice. And I just want to say, what a privilege it is to be African, to be young, and to be hungry. Do you agree?
At a time like this.
Absolutely.
Wait. She didn't mean hungry. Come
no,
on now.
Not that hungry.
Wait.
Hungry as an ambitious.
Wait, what's the time? It's
Fire
11:20. Huh? Come on. Don't worry. It'll get to that point.
And I was saying hungry, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, because every day as young people, we demonstrate that in fact we're not interested in finding our place in this world. Are we? We're interested in creating it and seeing how we want to configure it on our terms. Today, distinguished guests, we convene here in Lagos to shape the future that we want. And the real MVP is the state, in fact, the university, the students, because we're the ones who will drive the future, the Nigeria that we wish to see. So we gather today as a living current of energy in Lagos to drive and hum the possibility through the streets, through the university, and spark every idea as we move intentionally and differently, and we continue this movement into building in real time and thinking out loud unapologetically. Today we take part collectively, as we've agreed, Sheye, and strategically to convene as partners between the federal government of Nigeria, Lagos State Government, the University of Lagos, TETFund, and other key partners. So, while you sit here today, please, I have one ask, and I'm sure I can speak on the behalf of both of us. Please bring the energy, bring the spark, let us feel your excitement in true Lagos fashion. Can we do that? No,
Yes, we
that's
certainly
not good
can.
enough
Yes,
for
we
me.
certainly can. Can we do that? There we go. There we go. Okay. So we want to see the genesis, right? Because it's taken quite, a few partners. It's taken quite, the journey has been long, right? But I want to commend all of the partners, right, for staying on that journey, right? It's not often that you hear a very good idea, right? You're right there at the beginning, and then you see the genesis of it, right? Done in such an amazing fashion. So I think throughout today, we want that to shine, to come out. Just a note, right, to many people, especially people who are just walking in, right? This is the flag off of the UniPods, right? Starting off with the launch of the AI UniPod at Unilag. There are actually 7 pods, right, or UniPods, right, across the country. I'll just list a couple of them. And they're solving very specific solutions. And again, we want to applaud the intentionality, right, for this. So there's blue tech, blue and green tech in the University of Uyo. We have Manutech in Abia. We have Mine Tech in Nasarawa. We have Agrotech in Benin. We have Resilience Tech in Maduguri, and Industrial and Gov Tech at Ahmadu Bello University. We're going to be spotlighting some of these as we go along throughout the program. But please, round of applause for that, please. Round of applause. So today marks that flag off, and I think we can go towards, to see where that, started with the video.
Absolutely. So just to set the scene a little bit, we're in Lagos, where all the magic happens and all the wonderful things happen. So AI, it moves fast. Technology, it moves fast. But in my opinion, Nigeria, we move faster, no?
We move faster.
So right here in the heart of Lagos, at the University of Lagos, where curiosity meets capability and where a new generation is equipped to drive change, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's immerse ourselves with an experience of the future unfolding right here at Unilag.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, go! We are launching 7 state-of-the-art innovation hubs, UniPods in short, in Nigeria's universities.
It's time to flip the script. What if you could build the economy you want to work in?
The Ministry of Education on the other side is going to reimagining the university environment, attempting to take it away from just being a place where we teach into one where innovation thrives.
This isn't just about cool labs. It's about giving you the tools to compete, build, and own the tech that will run tomorrow.
We're matching local flavor with national power.
We are building a national system to transform Nigeria's universities and polytechnics.
Artificial intelligence in Lagos, agriculture in Benue, resilience in Borno, manufacturing in Abda, blue and green economy in Akwa Ibom, civic and industrial innovation in Kaduna, clean energy and transition minerals in Nasarawa.
Tremendous investment in both digital infrastructure and a new way of thinking, particularly for the academic sector.
So the door is wide open. Innovators, come!
The Vice President, His Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, will launch the infrastructure to solve its own problem,
grow its own economy,
and shape its own future.
The time is now.
Step in, show up, and let's build what comes next.
Okay, I think we have the second video. Can we have the second video, please?
Lagos never sleeps. It builds, it creates, it hopes, it dreams, it pursues. And now, its young people are rethinking how we live, move and work with artificial intelligence using data, code and creativity to turn the Lagos energy and passion into practical solutions for the whole of Nigeria. With thanks to the government of Nigeria, the Lagos State Government, the University of Lagos, and the United Nations Development Programme, this is where Lagos powers innovation through artificial intelligence for Nigeria and the rest of Africa.
The UniPod in AI, I see it as a very cross-cutting UniPod. It is essentially a catalyst for change and growth.
Everything we're trying to do is to raise new talents, empower the existing talents, and also create a critical mass that can help us to drive AI innovation.
I see this hub as a greater motivation for me to just move further and just push harder.
At UniPod, I've been given the access to a platform which provides access to resources as well as ability to collaborate with people from several domains.
If I'm to summarize everything we're trying to do here is to go beyond paperwork, academic work, translate research, translate ideas into products.
The space is actually student-friendly and very conducive.
So having a space where all of that is available is really exciting.
Well, we have a very young, vibrant community. And so our young people are coming up with all sorts of things.
Thank you very, very much for that round of applause. I think clearly what is happening today is absolutely world-class, right? Everything about that UniPod is cutting edge. So please, to formally welcome us and to set the tone for this momentous occasion, please join me in receiving the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Folasade Tululokwe Ogunsola, OON, FAS, for the welcome and opening remarks.
The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ably represented by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, GCON, who will be represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadija. The Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, it's always an honor to have him back, but he is being ably represented by the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Mr. Olatubosun Alake, the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, CON, ably represented by the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaibu Saidu Ahmad, the Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Boston Tijani, the Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy of Nigeria, Mr. Olawale Aedun, the Honorable Minister of Budget and Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, CON, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Hajia Iman Sulaiman Ibrahim, the UN Assistant Secretary General, Ms. Ahuna Eziakonwa, who will be online, the Head of Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, OON, the Executive Secretary, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Architect Sonny Ekchono, the UNDP Country Representative, and the driving force behind this, Ms. Elsie G. Atafua, and other members of the UNDP here present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, former Vice-Chancellors and Principal Officers of the University of Lagos, members of the university community, captains of industry, members of the alumni, students at the University of Lagos, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press. I have the privilege and honor to welcome you all to our university as we inaugurate our university's AI Innovation Hub. This hub is the first of 7 hubs developed in the country as a part of the UNDP's ambitious Timbuktu project to spark innovation across the African continent and enable us to translate into tangible, homegrown, Africa-led solutions that drive development and impact. This momentous occasion represents the beginning of a transformative endeavor that will shape the future of scholarship and drive national progress. We at the University of Lagos are delighted and honored to be contributing to this movement that will transform not just our country, but Africa and the world. Artificial intelligence is a pivotal force reshaping our world. Its potential to augment human capabilities, accelerate scientific discovery, and solve complex global challenges is immense. This hub, therefore, represents our unwavering commitment to harnessing this transformative power for the betterment of humanity. For us in academia, the AI Innovation Hub will serve as a crucible for interdisciplinary research, fostering collaboration across diverse fields. AI gives us the capacity to unlock new avenues of inquiry and empower our scholars to push the boundaries of knowledge. It will equip our students with the critical skills and forward-thinking mindset necessary to thrive in an increasingly AI-driven world. On a national scale, this initiative has immense potential to be a catalyst for development. The applications of AI are boundless, and we aim to cultivate a generation of leaders who can drive technological advancement, enhance our economic competitiveness, and address critical societal needs. So why do we need the AI UniPod, and why Unilag? The UNDP played to each university's strength or its promise. The University of Lagos has not been waiting passively in the wings. We have been preparing for a day such as this. We are a leading institution in AI research and development in Nigeria. We led the Edu AI Hub, the Responsible Artificial Intelligence for Education Innovation Research Network in Africa, a project funded by the IDRC of Canada, where we advanced AI research and innovation in sub-Saharan Africa through a network of 8 sub-granted projects. We developed an AI literacy training program that has been delivered over the past 2 years, reaching more than 14,000 participants within and beyond the university, working through our hubs such as NITDA Hub, the Design Studio, the AI and Robotics Lab, as well as the Fab Lab. Through these hubs, University of Lagos has incubated and accelerated over 20 AI-forward startups in health, education, entertainment, and small and medium enterprises. The University of Lagos also contributed to the development of the National AI Strategy for Nigeria and led the UNESCO AI Readiness Assessment in Nigeria. The Machine Intelligence Research Group at the University of Lagos has been providing leadership in AI research in the country through her annual international conferences in AI and robotics. We also have other hubs, the Innovation Transfer Management Office, the Entrepreneurship Skills Development Center, vocational skill centers, and various engineering and science laboratories that have been waiting for this opportunity, for this UniPod, because the AI UniPod is not only a catalyst, it is a unifier of skills and effort. It will bring cohesion to the many nodes of innovation and creative expression and growth within the university. It will expand and accelerate the vision, the clarity, the creativity, and expressions. It will allow our minds to soar, pushing the boundaries of possibilities, because it knows it can give physical expression to its thoughts as it provides solutions to the complex problems that confront us today as a nation. Our students, supported by faculty, have been providing solutions across disciplines. Is it in health? Students have developed the REAScope, an AI-powered blood analyzer for malaria detection, designed to make diagnostics more affordable for underserved communities. In education, we have the mixed reality anatomy and augmented reality platforms that allows medical students to explore human anatomy in an immersive 3D environment, or Wekoya, that automates the creation of active recall materials from bulky notes and saves students hours of manual note-taking. We have the BuildBot that addresses the challenge of unsafe, slow, and inefficient building inspections in high-rise and mid-rise structures using an AI-powered drone. In addition, we have Yan GPT, an AI-powered text-to-speech platform designed to make artificial intelligence more inclusive by enabling interaction in Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, and Pidgin, and the AI hybrid agro dryer, a low-cost AI-powered agricultural drying system. So imagine what we can now achieve with the UniPod. Our goal is to embed AI in every curriculum, irrespective of discipline, because AI is a tool of problem solving. It is fundamental to efficient, cost-saving, timely solutions in all fields of endeavor. Secondly, AI is not neutral. The solutions it proffers are products of the data sets it is fed. It is important that the data is contextualized to our realities and lived experiences. It therefore requires that we are rigorous in ensuring the accuracy of our data. AI also reflects the biases of those that feed the training data. These biases may be conscious or unconscious. Africa, for a long time, has been stereotyped as poor and needing of aid. We must break the narrative. We must break the stereotype. AI gives us the leverage to do this. It gives us the opportunity to capture our indigenous knowledge, our history, our triumphs, and our challenges. It ensures that data is configured to our skin tone, our accents, and our context. The AI UniPod, therefore, opens the doors to a future that we can shape. Thirdly, AI, because of its immense power, also throws up its own challenges. Issues of ethics, morality, access, impact on human behavior, learning, privacy, and security also come into play. We also have the faculty and students who will collaborate to interrogate these issues as we prefer solutions for the policies and laws that will need to be made, and also the required businesses that will give rise to new jobs as they emerge. I am excited at the possibilities that the siting of this UniPod at the University of Lagos portends, not just for our students and staff, but for our community, our nation, and the global community. Nigeria is a nation of 226 plus million people with an average age of 19 years and a population set to be 400 million by 2050. We cannot afford not to embrace AI. It gives us the tools to shape that future to our benefit, to develop the right minds for that future, to ensure that this youthful population will be an asset and not a liability. This is the seed time, and we are sowing good seeds that we must now water, nurture, prune, and support so we get the bountiful harvest of which we can all be proud. I thank the UNDP. I thank our Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Bola Tinubu, the Ministry of Education, TETFund, and all the other ministries here present for making sure today happened. The journey has just begun. We look forward to investments into this venture, not only from government, but from the private sector. We must all join hands together, academia, industry, government, and civil society organizations, and our investment partners, our development partners, to turn this promise of the greatness of Nigeria into reality. We cannot achieve the Nigeria we want or the Africa we want without investing in education, in AI and the youth. We must equip them and trust them to deliver that future. We really cannot afford not to do so. Thank you very much for your attention.
All right. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause. Please, can I have the students? Please, this is a gift to Unilag. Thank you very much, Ma, for the leadership, right? I think that this is game-changing because at a time when many universities globally, right, are grappling with what AI truly means, right, for education, for empowering the future of work, because after all, that's why we go to university, right, to turn that potential into prosperity, right? Many universities are looking to do things like this, and Unilag, right, has joined the ranks of many of them globally. Because again, remember that universities are powerful institutions, right, for transforming potential, right, into the prosperity that we need for this country.
Thank you, Shea. It's evident AI has landed in Unilag, no? Yeah, so thank you so much, Professor, and thank you for being our incredible and phenomenal host. We greatly appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about disruptors, and please allow me to welcome to the stage somebody who consistently breaks the mold, somebody who consistently challenges the norm, making sure that Africa's ideas are not only birthed, but take flight, and somebody who always encourages us to soar and disrupt the global stage for Nigeria and for Africa. However, to welcome her on stage, we're going to need a little bit more energy. So please allow me to welcome to the stage the UNDP resident representative, Ms. Elsie Atafa.
Can you hear me? Good morning, everyone. Am I looking good? So I just want to celebrate the Akwete from Southeast Nigeria. Anytime I wear Akwete, people think because I'm Ghanaian, they say, is it Kente? No, it is Akwete from Nigeria. So I want to celebrate the Akwete from Nigeria, and I want to celebrate a young SME, Expressionel, who made my jacket for me today. Your Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, here represented by Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadeja. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, our gracious host, also represented by our Commissioner who is here. Excellencies, governors present here today, and I know a number of them have sent their representatives, so welcome. I see Plateau, for example. Honorable ministers, particularly the Honorable Minister of State for Education, my sister, last week we're here together. The Honorable Minister of Finance, who sent us congratulations online. The Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, we understand he may be here today. The Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Honorable Dr. Bosun, who is also on his way. The Honorable Minister of Women's Affairs, who has confirmed that she'll be here. My own dear sister, the head of Civil Service of the Federation, please also welcome. She flew in this morning to join us. Let me also appreciate the leader, our leadership of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Architect Echono. We are in this together, so thank you very much. Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps who are here, Vice-Chancellors who are joining us. I know a number of you are here, and you and your teams are joining from the 6 other UniPods connected online. Welcome. And let me recognize with special recognition our own Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos for hosting this historic moment. We've been in this together. Professor Sade, thank you very much. Captains of industry, private sector leaders, foundations, distinguished development partners, faculty innovators who are here today, and most importantly, the brilliant young people of Nigeria with the carry first. Let me recognize the media as well. Thank you very much for putting the spotlight on our young innovators, especially channels. I think you are showing this live on television. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. Good morning. Let's have some energy here. Good morning. So let me start off with a story. Last week, only last week, I was here inside the Unilag AI UniPod that we are about to flag off today. And I met a number of young people who just shared their dreams of how they found the place really limitless. But importantly, I met a young Nigerian whose story has stayed with me. Her name is Deborah, and I'm sure you might meet Deborah today. Deborah is a student of insurance. But more importantly, she is an innovator because she came not with a complaint, but with an idea. As a student with physical disability, and she told me she was born with cerebral palsy, she depends on human scribes to write her examinations, an arrangement that can compromise independence and raise questions about fairness. So she imagined something different, a robotic scribe, powered by artificial intelligence that listens to her voice and converts in real time into handwritten responses, preserving integrity whilst restoring dignity and independence. Deborah told me, "My mind is sound," she said. "My mind is sound. My mouth can speak, but I need something to help me express what is in my mind." And here is what is remarkable. Just in 5 days, working with fellow students in this UniPod, I want to thank Professor Shade and Professor Chika for surrounding her with brilliant minds in AI and computer science. A 3D model was already designed. And a prototype is now being built, all in 5 days. So ladies and gentlemen, Excellency, that is the future already happening before our eyes. Not theory, not aspiration, but young Nigerians solving problems with real solutions. And that is why today matters. Because what we are launching here today is not just infrastructure. It is a system that ensures that ideas like Deborah's do not end as ideas, but become solutions, that become enterprises, that become opportunities. We meet at a time, Excellency, when the global economy is undergoing profound change, driven by technologies such as artificial intelligence, digital systems, and advanced innovation platforms that are fundamentally reshaping how countries produce, how countries compete, and how countries create value. In such a moment, the real question for any nation is not whether change is coming, but whether it is prepared to shape that change or be shaped by it. Your Excellency, we wish to commend your leadership and that of the federal government under the Renewed Hope Agenda for providing not only the vision, but also the commitment and public investment required to move from intention to implementation and to impact. We also recognize with deep appreciation the leadership and the collaboration of the Federal Ministry of Education, the Federal Ministry of Finance, the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, my brother, you are here, the Lagos State government, whose combined efforts, and of course the University of Lagos, whose combined efforts have made it possible for this initiative to move beyond concept into reality. We are equally honored by the presence and engagement of the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, state governments, and a distinguished cross-section of partners from academia, industry, and the development community, reflecting a truly whole of government and whole of society effort to build an enabling environment required to transform Nigeria's universities into engines of innovation, entrepreneurship, industrial development, competitiveness, and job creation. What is particularly significant about this moment is that it reflects a new development model, one that is government-led, one that is government-financed and partnership-enabled, demonstrating clearly that Nigeria is not simply articulating ambition, but it is delivering at scale with institutions aligned across policy, planning, programming, and investment to drive sustained national transformation. And I want us to give a clap to the government of Nigeria. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, what we are launching today is not merely a physical space, nor is it a standalone initiative. Rather, it is the foundation of a national system designed to connect talent, research, industry, and investment into a single, coordinated platform capable of generating sustained economic value. At its core, the system creates a continuous pathway from learning to innovation to enterprise and ultimately to jobs, ensuring that education is directly linked to productivity and national development. The system is already supported of over 30 billion naira in public investment and is being deployed across the first cohort of 7 universities spanning the country with a clear pathway to scale to 21 institutions in the immediate term and progressively to a national network of over 50 universities. And I want to thank my brother, Architect Echono, for this, for partnering with us and to ensuring that we can go to scale with the investment by government. And I think he deserves a clap as well. It is important that we move beyond structure and speak to experience, because what truly matters is what happens inside these spaces. Within this UniPod, students are not confined to traditional modes of learning. Instead, they are actively engaging in building solutions, working with data, developing prototypes, and collaborating across disciplines to address real-world challenges in areas such as agriculture, healthcare, finance, energy, and climate. In doing so, learning becomes practical, innovation becomes tangible, and education becomes directly connected to opportunity. And this is where the transformation becomes most visible, because students don't simply graduate with theoretical knowledge, but with skills, with experience, with networks, and in many cases, the foundations of enterprises that can be developed further. This is the shift from education as preparation to education as participation in the economy. Now, let me simply shift a bit quickly to AI as a focus. The choice to anchor this flagship UniPod in artificial intelligence is both deliberate and strategic. As Professor Sade talked earlier on, artificial intelligence is no longer a distant or abstract concept. It is rapidly becoming the underlying infrastructure through which modern economies operate, influencing everything from how food is produced to how healthcare is delivered and how financial systems expand inclusion. Globally, the economic value associated with AI is immense. But beyond the numbers lies a fundamental question for countries such as Nigeria, whether to build the capacity to develop and apply these technologies locally or to remain dependent on systems designed elsewhere. For Nigeria, this moment presents a clear opportunity to build sovereign capability, to ensure that its talent is equipped not only to use AI, but to shape it, adapt it, and deploy it in ways that respond to its own realities and priorities. And it is here, within institutions such as the University of Lagos, that this capability begins to take root. Now, let me talk a bit about the continental positioning of this initiative. And here I want to thank our regional director, also a daughter of the soil, Madame Ahuna Eziakonwa, for the birth of Timbuktu. This initiative also carries significance beyond the national level. Through UNDP's Timbuktu platform, Nigeria is contributing to a broader continental effort to build interconnected innovation systems that link talent, capital, technology, and markets across Africa. This is being done through UniPods in about 13 countries, 1 for each country, and 6 regional tech hubs across the continent, with Nigeria hosting the FinTech Hub. What distinguished Nigeria in this context is that it is among the first to take this UniPod model and adapt it for scaling through direct public investment and strong national ownership. In doing so, Nigeria is not only strengthening its own position, but also contributing to shaping how innovation systems are designed and delivered across the African continent. So what's the call to action? The success of this system will depend on the collective efforts of all stakeholders, and I want to thank you for coming in to join us today. To the young people here today, this platform is an opportunity, one that calls for curiosity, creativity, and commitment. To the private sector, this is an invitation to invest in talent, to support innovation and help translate ideas into enterprises. To partners and development institutions, this is a moment to align, to scale what works, and to support systems that deliver measurable impact. And to state governments, it is an opportunity to take this model further, adapting and embedding it within local contexts to drive regional transformation. So in conclusion, as I close, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, what is being built today is, at its core, a system that ensures that Nigeria's young people is not only prepared for the future, but is actively engaged in shaping it. It is a system that connects knowledge to opportunity, innovation to enterprise, and talent to national prosperity. And in doing so, it positions Nigeria not merely as a participant in the global economy, but as a country that is deliberately building the foundations for long-term competitiveness and inclusive growth. This is a significant moment. And as United Nations Development Program, and by extension, the United Nations family, as I do wear the acting United Nations resident and humanitarian coordinator hat in the next 4 weeks, let me also talk on behalf of the United Nations system. We are proud. We are proud to stand with the government of Nigeria. We are proud to stand with all the universities. We are proud to stand with the state governments. We are proud to stand with the private sector. We are proud to stand with all the communities. And we are proud to stand with the people of Nigeria as a partner in this journey, because Niger, we know they carry last, they carry first. Thank you very much.
I told you she'd bring the energy. Thank you. Can we give her one round of applause, please? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, allow me please in a special way to introduce a powerhouse, a visionary leader, and the advocate for all things African excellence. She is a force behind Timbuktu and by extension the UniPods as well. She is our own Mama Africa and increasingly pushes us to see blurred lines and no boundaries. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow us to play a video from our Regional Director and Assistant Secretary General, Ms. Ahuna Ezeakonwa.
Round of applause, please.
So today is a defining moment, a moment of possibility, a moment that tells a different story about Africa, a story of innovation, of talent, of bold ideas that are shaping the future. With the launch of this University Innovation Pod, we are taking another step forward in building Timbuktu, UNDP and Africa's most ambitious initiative to forge a thriving innovation ecosystem. Timbuktu is not just an initiative, it is a movement, a vision, a commitment to unlocking Africa's potential by investing in young innovators like yourselves. You are the problem solvers, you are the dreamers, the change makers, the ones who see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to create solutions that drive progress. Solutions that will help us to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. And here, in this UniPod, you have the space, you have the tools, You have the support to take your ideas from vision to reality, to experiment, to test, to fail, and then to rise even stronger, because that is how innovation happens. At UNDP, we believe in you. We are committed to standing with you, working alongside you, and ensuring that Africa's future is also shaped by African solutions. So to our partners, this university, its leadership, faculty, and staff, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for believing in the power of young people. Thank you for working with us to make this dream a reality. And to every young innovator that's stepping into this space, these are my words. The future is yours to build, to dream big, to be fearless, to make a difference. Africa is counting on you, and so are we. So let's go make history together.
Thank you very much. And I want to just say thank you again to all of the partners. As she said, thank you for making the dream a reality. How many of you know that this truly is a dream? This is something that has been really many, many years in the making. And the next speaker is someone that we have a lot to thank for, right? He has been instrumental in strengthening the infrastructure, research capability, and innovation readiness of Nigeria's tertiary institutions. The Tertiary Education Fund, right, which we all know was established by the federal government of Nigeria, right, disburses, manages, and monitors funding for government-owned tertiary institutions. This is essential, right, to the growth of the education sector. So please join me in welcoming architect Sonny Ichono, FNIA Executive Secretary of the TETFund. Thank you, sir.
His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, here ably represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Office of the Vice President. The Honorable Minister of State for Education, the Head of Service of the Federation, representatives of other ministers here present, the leader of the organized private sector and President of NASIMA, the Vice-Chancellor, University of Lagos, and all the former Vice-Chancellors and Principal Officers, my very dear sister and partner, the resident UNDP resident representative in Nigeria, I always admire your passion and commitment that you bring to your work. Very special invited guests here present, innovators, creators, our dear students, gentlemen of the press, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Why are we here today? It is a confluence of two visions. First is the global reality. Across the world, particularly in developing countries, we are witnessing declining birth rates. We are witnessing aging of population. Indeed, some countries are actually having negative growth rates in their population. Where, on the other hand, Nigeria has a demographic advantage. Not just high birth rate, but a very youthful population. And the simple logic is, if we can prepare this workforce, imbue them with the right skills and knowledge, they will provide the skill sets and form the workforce of the world tomorrow. So instead of exporting our natural resources, we'll be exporting our intellectual talent. And that, as has proven in many types of the world, yields higher dividends. The second vision is that of Mr. President. In my conversations with him, he lamented the fact that despite the lofty heights attained by Nigeria and Nigerians before independence, that successive generations have dropped the ball. Many countries that were at the same level of development with us, or even lower, have since surpassed us. And Mr. President is determined to change that narrative. And the trajectory he's chosen is to invest in our youths, to trust them, provide them the opportunities that they will need to compete on a global scale. He is convinced that our Nigerians are naturally hardworking, very gifted, and when you give them the chance, the facilities, the opportunity, they will excel. And you can see us do that in various fields of endeavor. Nigerians in diaspora are doing wonderfully well. And in the fields that have been open to us, whether it is music, whether it is in sports, you have seen how Nigerians have excelled. The next frontier is research and development. So why are we partnering with the UNDP? Again, we want to leverage on their global footprints, their experience, their long-term commitment, and the fact that they are good in what they are doing. So TETFund is pleased and happy to have signed a memorandum of understanding with UNDP, which underscores our joint commitment to propel Nigeria towards an era where innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship will drive sustainable national development. It is an effort to enable Nigerians transition toward a knowledge-based economy, as the framework focuses on institutionalizing innovation systems, advancing research commercialization, and cultivating digital human capital, while securing sustainable financing to support a thriving innovation ecosystem. Under this partnership, we are activating 7 university innovation hubs, starting from University of Lagos today, and 1 polytechnic hub. We will be operationalizing an additional 12 TETFund-sponsored innovation hubs across the country, bringing the total to 20 within the next few months. In addition to that, currently as I speak, we are working in about 48 institutions, also either building, expanding, or rehabilitating their innovation hubs. These innovation hubs and pubs are not just buildings, but they will also provide collision spaces where scientists and innovators will meet engineers, where students will meet their mentors, and where raw ideas meet industrial transformation. By equipping these hubs to meet global standards, we are creating a pathway towards ensuring that the academic world synergizes with Nigerian consumers through our organized private sector. And that's why I personally acknowledge the presence of the organized private sector here, because you will be the actual catalyst for this to happen. We need to encourage young Nigerians with ideas to take their ideas not only from these hubs, but also take them to industry, get venture capital for them, create enablement for them to turn these into goods and services that will help all of us improve our standard of living and also profitably engage in economic, create wealth and prosperity for all. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely imperative to note that this partnership is in alignment with Mr. President's vision to strengthen tertiary institutional capacity and to further support the Honorable Minister of Education's strategic roadmap to globally reposition Nigeria's tertiary education system for international competitiveness. And I want to again congratulate the University of Lagos. You are leading in many spheres in this regard, including transnational education. So as we look forward to upscaling this partnership, we'll create a nationwide network reaching every state of our country. In closing, I want to assure you that it is my conviction that Nigeria's economic growth requires the translation of human inventions into market-ready solutions and ensuring that our brightest minds are empowered to build the industries that will sustain our future. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, another round of applause. It really takes more than a village to get as far as we have today. What happens when you find innovators? What happens when you find innovation? You have to scale it, right? And this is exactly what the UniPods do. And the most amazing thing about it is that this is now not just localized to one center of excellence, right? As we know Lagos is. This is democratized across Nigeria. Please, a round of applause again for the vision and the scale of this audacious vision and dream, as has been said many times. So I think it's the right time for us to actually meet, right, an innovator, right? We talk about scaling, but there's nothing to scale, right, if there are no people who are utilizing the cutting edge of AI. And dare I say, the next person is one such a person. Many of you young people would have heard about him. He went viral, right, for his YanGPT.ai, right, a couple of years ago. So please join me as we welcome Saeed Aziz, founder, YanGPT.
Okay. Standing on existing protocols, Your Excellencies, the Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, my fellow alumni, it's nice using that word finally, and students, good morning. Yeah, so my name is Saeed Aziz, and it's quite an honor being here, because just about 3 months ago, I was on this same stage, receiving my first class handshake from the Vice-Chancellor. So it's an honor to be back to give a talk about AI. Yeah, so I'm Saeed Aziz here. And I'll start by saying congratulations to the University of Lagos community. And the student, most importantly. A few months back, I was at an event with someone, a fellow student, and he told me that Unilag is opening a UniPod. And I felt jealous, because it's when I'm graduating that Unilag decided to open a UniPod, right? So congratulations to the student, because this is a big opportunity. So like I was introduced earlier, I'm building YanGPT.ai. And YanGPT.ai is the best text-to-speech model for Nigerian languages currently. I launched it when I was in my final year at Unilag, right? And we've gotten about 100,000 downloads and about 10,000 users on our platform, right? Anytime I think of that number, 100,000 downloads, imagine looking at 100,000 people. Like, that's quite a lot. And it was something I just built as a student in Unilag. So I think I'm in the best position to talk about this UniPod, because as a student who just finished from Unilag. Yeah, so I came into Unilag some 6 years ago to 7 years ago, yeah. I was a 16-year-old boy. I looked 12 back then. I can remember the person doing my screening was asking me, are you sure you are 16? I didn't know anything. The only thing I knew was maths, further maths, chemistry. But I came into Unilag. I met a community of amazing people. And I moved from that boy who only knew maths to someone who is building technology that is impacting people. And when I started coding with an itel phone, right? I didn't have that facility to start coding. I was just at home, got my itel phone, and I started coding. And that's why I'm jealous, because now you have a UniPod whereby you can go and actually code. And even apart from the facilities you get, the physical resources you get at the UniPod, the fact that there's a community of people that you are working towards AI is very valuable. I can say for certain, Unilag has the smartest students in Nigeria. I can say for sure. Yeah. Yeah, because on a random day, you are walking on the streets of Unilag. They are telling you that that boy just came back for Bloomberg. Is it not that boy that we were in the same class together? You can just be opening Twitter. You see one guy won an hackathon, 10 million. This boy is my classmate. So I can say for sure, Unilag has the smartest student. And in terms of software, we are doing amazing well in software in Unilag. Like, there's no software you want to think of that a Unilag student cannot build. Like Unilag students in the hostels, you see them planning, let's build this, let's do this stuff, let's build this hackathon. It's actually amazing. Yeah. So AI is changing the world as you see it, right? As a software developer, I can't remember the last time I sat down and said, let me write this code from beginning to end. There are AI agents that can help me code fully. What I have to do is to just give you the instruction. So AI is very important. I don't know what field you are in, but I'm very certain that AI can do, if AI can't do what you are doing, if you use AI, if you add AI to your work, AI will improve your efficiency by at least 100%. I can say for sure. So it's very important as Nigerians to build with AI in mind. Because these AI solutions, they are trained on data, right? If we don't train these solutions on our own data, at some point, our way of doing things is going to be lost. Because let me say I train a model now. I didn't train it with Yoruba. That model becomes the model everybody is using in the world. People will be using that model. In the next 50 years, because a lot of people will be more reliant on AI then, they would, it's very likely that our languages and our way of doing things will be lost by then. So it's very important to build with AI. And also as a country, you can say, we have ChatGPT and co. But it's very important for us to have our own solutions. I don't know if you saw the news recently that Cloud had an issue with the Department of War in US because they didn't allow them access to our solution. As a country, it's very important for us to have a solution. And I think the best way to key into that is to start with students. And the Ministry of Communication has been doing well so far. I've been a part of some of these initiatives. And I think Unilag is a good starting point. So lastly, I want to say congratulations to the University of Lagos students on the opening of the AI UniPod. Don't be shocked if you see me there, despite the fact that I've graduated. And I want to say I hope to see what would come out of the UniPod in a few years. But I think hope is, I'm sure. So I want to say I'm certain of the solutions that will come out of the UniPod in a few years or few months. I trust my Unilag boys. Thank you so much. Great Akokites.
Wow, please, a resounding round of applause for this innovator. Literally at the cutting edge of what is going on. Sorry, don't be too jealous. We'll have you come and speak to the students and innovators at the UniPod, because this is truly inspiring, right? I think where you have one Saeed, right, you've got another million, right? And dare I say, many of you are actually here today. So thank you very much. Okay, we'd just like to recognize a couple of dignitaries that have come in our midst. Dr. Bala Yusuf Yunusa, Senior Technical Advisor, Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you very much for being here. We also want to recognize Professor Wasiu Adeyemo, Chief Medical Director, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Luth. Thank you very, very much. So as we move on to our next speaker, right, I think the most important thing, right, the bedrock, right, of national transformation, at least the transformation we want to see, is most certainly education, right? I think many of us would agree in this room. It is the foundation upon which the talent that needs to take us to the future is nurtured, innovation is unlocked, and prosperity is sustained. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Minister of Education, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Said Ahmad. Please keep those hands going as she comes up to the stage.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Let me first start by recognizing the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by my brother, Senator Ibrahim Hadija. Thank you for always supporting the Ministry of Education and the growth of education in general in Nigeria. I would like to also recognize the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State. My dear sister, the head of service, Didi Wilson, OON MNI, who has changed the narrative about civil service in Nigeria. Thank you for all your reforms, ma'am. The resident representative, UNDP. When you say energy, I think she's the definition of energy. Elsie Atafo, thank you, ma'am. And I hope I can be as energetic as you are. The Executive Secretary, TETFund, Architect Sonny Ochono, thank you for not getting tired of us, for always coming to you with different reforms in education. This particular one is one of them. Our host, the Vice-Chancellor, University of Lagos, and her management team. Let's give them a round of applause, please. As she was speaking, I was amazed. I was so much into her speech that I was surprised that throughout the speech, I didn't hear much clapping. But then when she mentioned so many things happening in Lagos, I realized that really, Lagos is a first setter. And I will say this. When I look at her, I look at my sister, the head of service, and I'll quote that. I'll be selfish and say that when you want something done, give it to a woman. Don't argue with me. Former vice-chancellors and vice-chancellors here present, staff and students of this great university, other important invited dignitaries, gentlemen of the press, good afternoon all. But as I'm speaking, my brother walked in, the Minister of Communication, Dr. Bosun Tijani. So I recognize your presence. You are uploaded in your absence because of all the great initiatives, especially in information and communication technology, and more specifically on AI. I'm representing the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa, who wanted to be here but couldn't, but asked me to represent him. I'm sure I don't need to talk about his passion for innovation, his passion for the development of education in Nigeria. So it is with great pleasure and deep sense of national purpose that I join you today for the launch of the Artificial Intelligent University Innovation Pods, UniPods, and this historic national flag of ceremony. Let me begin by expressing our profound appreciation to His Excellency, the Vice President, for graciously presiding over this landmark event, ably represented by Senator Hadija. His presence underscores the strong commitment of this administration to advancing innovation, digital transformation, and youth empowerment across our nation. Today's event marks a bold step forward in our collective resolve to position Nigeria as a leading hub for digital innovation and emerging technologies. The UniPods initiative is not merely about infrastructure. It is about unlocking the immense potential of our young people, equipping them with cutting-edge skills and fostering a culture of creativity, problem-solving, and enterprise. In a rapidly evolving global economy driven by artificial intelligence, data science, and advanced technologies, nation that invests in knowledge, innovation, and talent development will lead. Nigeria must not only participate, we must lead. This initiative is therefore timely and strategic. Through this collaboration with TETFund and the invaluable support of UNDP, we are creating dynamic innovation ecosystems within our university spaces, where ideas are nurtured, solutions are developed, and startups are born. Just last week, we gave grants to young students, Nigerian students, to create and give opportunity for their startups to become a reality. These UniPods will serve as incubators for groundbreaking research, interdisciplinary collaboration, and industry-relevant innovations. Our universities must evolve beyond traditional roles to become engines of economic growth and national development. The UniPods initiative aligns squarely with the Federal Ministry of Education's visions to promote science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medical sciences, strengthen research capacity, and bridge the gap between academia and industry. To our students and young innovators, this initiative is for you. It is an invitation to think boldly, to experiment, to innovate, and to create solutions that will address Nigeria's unique challenges, from healthcare to agriculture to education, governance, and beyond, which are all in tandem with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. I urge you to seize this opportunity with determination and a sense of purpose. The future belongs to those who can harness knowledge and technology to transform societies. Let me also emphasize that this initiative will be implemented with a strong focus on inclusivity, sustainability, and measurable impact. We are committed to ensuring that no region is left behind and that the benefits of the innovation reach all corners of our country. As we formally launch the UniPods today, we are not just unveiling a program, we are igniting a movement that will inspire a new generation of Nigerian innovators, entrepreneurs, and global leaders. Once again, I thank His Excellency, the Vice President, our partners, specifically UNDP, and all stakeholders for their unwavering support and collaboration. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's clearly a lot that has been done to get us here today, and much more will be done following this. Just before we continue, we want to recognize, recognize the presence of the Honorable Minister of Communications, Innovation, and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani. Please, round of applause. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Our next distinguished speaker occupies one of the most pivotal offices in national governance, providing leadership across the federal civil service and helping shape effectiveness, discipline, and continuity of public sectors. Clearly, this is an area that AI will play an increasingly more important role. Please join me in welcoming the head of civil service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson Jack.
The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, ably represented by Senator Hadeja, the Deputy Chief of Staff. The Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, ably represented here by the Commissioner of Innovation, my dear sister of the Honorable Minister of State Education, my very vibrant and cerebral sister here representing the Honorable Minister, our Vice-Chancellor, University of Lagos, and all the professors and other staff of the university here present, the Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, I'm sorry for that mix-up, my dependable ally in the digital transformation of the Federal Civil Service, the Honorable Minister, okay, we've done all the ministers, the UNDP Nigeria Resident Representative, the very dynamic Ms. Elsie Atafua, my co-host and very dear partner in the transformation of the Nigerian civil service. the Executive Secretary, TETFund, my dear brother, the Director General of the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, the President of NASIMA, the students of Unilag, who are the key beneficiaries of what we are here to do today, great Akokites, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the national flag-off of the University Innovation Pod in Nigeria. Welcome to the University of Lagos, my alma mater. As a co-host of this important event, I am delighted to join the United Nations Development Program, TETFund, our university partners, stakeholders from government and industry, and the wider innovation community in marking this significant milestone. This initiative represents an important partnership between the federal government of Nigeria and the United Nations Development Program to strengthen Nigeria's innovation ecosystem and create stronger pathways from knowledge to enterprise, from ideas to impact, and from research to national development. The UniPod initiative is both timely and forward-looking. It provides a practical platform for translating ideas emerging from our universities and research institutions into commercially viable solutions that can address real national challenges. It also helps to build a stronger entrepreneurial culture by creating opportunities for students, researchers, and innovators to develop skills, launch ventures, and contribute meaningfully to economic growth. It is particularly fitting that this national launch is taking place in Lagos, a city widely recognized as one of Africa's leading centers of entrepreneurship and innovation. I think this is a good place to clap. Lagos has birthed bold ideas, nurtured ambitious startups, and produced enterprises that have grown into major businesses, including unicorns. To commence this national movement here is therefore both symbolic and strategic. Indeed, we look forward to the startups that will emerge from these UniPods to transform the economy, create jobs, solve real problems, stimulate investment, unlock new industries, and in the years ahead, become the unicorns we will all celebrate with pride. What is especially novel and commendable about the UniPod model is its deliberate focus across different pods and sectors. This reflects an important reality. Innovation is not one-dimensional. It must respond to the distinct opportunities and development needs of different sectors. And I'm happy we saw that when we went on a tour of the marketplace. The focus on areas such as artificial intelligence, agrotech, govtech, green and blue economy, mining and materials, resilience technology, industrial technology, and trade shows clear strategic alignment with Nigeria's development priorities. This approach also corroborates ongoing reform efforts within the federal civil service to institutionalize innovation more deliberately across governments. Innovation is increasingly being recognized not as a side activity, but as a practical tool for improving public value through cost reduction, cost avoidance, revenue protection, revenue growth, and better value for money in governance and service delivery. This commitment to innovation in the Federal Civil Service Strategy and implementation plans for 2017 to 2020 and that of 2021 to 2025 has been demonstrated through the annual Federal Civil Service Innovation Competitions, which have been held since 2020, to encourage public servants to identify problems, generate practical solutions, and contribute fresh thinking to governance. These competitions have helped to send a clear signal that innovation is not outside government work. It is rather an important part of how public institutions solve problems and improve outcomes. Importantly, these innovation competitions have not been limited to recognition alone. They have included structured incentives and rewards, with the winning team receiving 3 million naira alongside runner-up prizes and 10 consolation prizes. More significantly, however, efforts have increasingly focused on working with partners such as UNDP to support the implementation of winning ideas, because innovation must go beyond applause and move into execution and measurable impact. The innovation movement is also being taken further through ministerial innovation competitions, which are helping to deepen innovation culture within individual ministries, departments, and agencies. This is an important step because innovation must not remain centralized. It must be embedded across the system so that each institution can respond creatively to the challenges and opportunities within its sector. Our innovation solutions have emerged, and efforts to use them in the system have resulted in our anonymous reporting system, the Compro digital examination platform, and a ride-share solution designed for public service. It is in this same spirit that the federal government, through the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, has established innovation divisions in all ministries, departments, and agencies. This is a very important reform direction. It recognizes that whether the sector is solid minerals, marine and blue economy, agriculture, governance, or health, there must be public servants within those institutions who understand innovation well enough to support it with the right thinking, the right structures, and the right policies needed to ensure sustainability. In this regard, we warmly welcome the planned Innovation Hub for the Federal Civil Service under the Office of Head of Civil Service of the Federation and UNDP partnership, just as we welcome the UniPod initiative itself. Both are mutually reinforcing. Both speak to the need to build stronger systems to nurture ideas, stimulate enterprise, reward creativity, and ensure that innovation contributes meaningfully to development. We are also encouraged by the growing role of technology and artificial intelligence in public sector transformation. Through our own homegrown ServiceWise GPT, the Federal Civil Service has already demonstrated how AI can support productivity and improve access to information in the workplace. With over 50,000 conversations recorded so far, the platform is helping civil servants save an estimated 2 to 3 hours of work time per day, and 90% of users would recommend the tool, citing ease of access and efficiency. Feel free to check out ServiceWise GPT. You can get it on the website of the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. You can also access it through Google. This is the kind of practical, measurable innovation that shows what is possible when new technologies are deployed purposefully. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to emphasize that today's important initiative is not only about launching hubs or pods. It is about building an ecosystem. It is about creating an environment where innovation is supported, where enterprise is encouraged, where policy is enabling, and where partnerships are strong enough to move ideas beyond concepts to sustainable impact. We therefore welcome more partners to support this innovation journey, whether through challenge funds, implementation support, mentoring, infrastructure, technology tools, policy collaboration, or commercialization pathways. Nigeria needs stronger bridges among universities, government, industry, and development partners, and the UniPod initiative helps to build that bridge. And so I say in closing, may this initiative flourish. May it unlock ideas of lasting value. May it help produce enterprises that transform sectors, create jobs, and strengthen Nigeria's innovation future. And may the years ahead bring forth the unicorns that will stand as evidence of what is possible when talent, policy, partnership, and innovation come together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will now experience AI firsthand, and we will give you a virtual tour of your very own UniPod created by AI.
Ekaro, Sanudazua. I am your AI agent, and I'll be your guide for an immersive tour of this incredible lab in University of Lagos. Welcome to the AI University Innovation Pod, where ideas become AI-powered solutions to solve real-world challenges. The idea of this space is simple. When a problem walks into the AI UniPod, it leaves as a solution ready for the market. The journey starts here, in the design space. This is where innovators break down real-world problems and turn ideas into structured solutions. Once the idea is defined, the next step is to bring it to life conceptually. This is a design studio equipped with high-performance systems for design, editing, and visualization. In the virtual reality space, users can visualize their concepts in 3D with VR headsets and motion tracking tools to experience their ideas before they exist physically. This is a pitch garage, a space where students can present and pitch their ideas or solutions to the community, industry, and investors. Let's explore now the most exciting part of this AI UniPod. This is where ideas become real intelligent systems. In the AI and robotics lab, students can develop, build, and train AI models, algorithms. The lab is equipped with high-performance computers enabling powerful computing, AI algorithms, training, and scalability. The lab also includes a robotics section where users can build hardware solutions, use PCB and electronic tools, and integrate IoT and embedded systems into AI solutions. Now that we have our AI-driven solution, let's build the product in the Makerspace lab. Here, solutions move into the final product. This is a makerspace where innovators can build tangible prototypes and fabricate usable products. This lab is equipped with state-of-the-art prototyping tools, including 3D and resin printers, laser cutting systems, and high-performance design computers. This is our ecosystem space where the 8 UniPods across Nigeria connect, collaborate, and engage with international labs and AI hubs around the world. This is the AI Fundamentals Lab, a space for experimentation, continuous learning, and empowering students to apply AI across discipline. Finally, solutions are shared with the wider ecosystem. The collaboration space is designed to host demos and product showcases, hackathon, ideathons. This is where innovators can gain visibility, connect with partners and investors, and explore opportunities for scaling their solutions. At the end of this journey, ideas become AI solutions, solutions become products, and products are brought to market to create real-world impact. My mission here is complete. Now, I'll hand it over to the real innovators to demonstrate the power of AI in action. It's been a pleasure.
And that's you. Oh my God, what an amazing initiative. How realistic was that? How many people know that to create that kind of animation would have taken months before this, right? And quite a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So, what a world we live in.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, please allow me to warmly welcome Mr. Olusegun Ogunsanya, the chairman of Airtel Africa Foundation. Thank you very much.
Round of applause. Thank you very much for being part of this initiative. So I think that, we've been talking about innovation. We've been hearing from the partners, right, that have made this possible today. And make no mistake, this is a seminal moment for Nigeria and Africa, right? We have to keep repeating that over and over. This is literally what Africa needs to move forward. But it's only fitting that this launch occurs at one of the most forward-thinking universities, well, not just universities, one of the most forward-thinking and technology-savvy states in Nigeria. Lagos State is truly at the forefront, right, of innovation. So please welcome His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner, Innovation, Science and Technology of Lagos State, Mr. Toboso.
Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff, the Honorable Ministers of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Honorable Minister of State for Education, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, a very special institution indeed. Our friends at UNDP, I must not forget the always energetic Miss Elsie. I mean, a lot of people have commented about that this morning, so I concur with that assessment. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's afternoon already. It must be the nerves. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's an honor and a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you here today, not just to celebrate the launch of this UniPod at the University of Lagos, but to reflect on what this moment truly represents. Because it's not just about a facility, it's about a movement already in motion. A movement actively encouraged and cemented by this current administration, of course, led by the Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy. The prioritization of innovation and technology at the highest levels of office in this nation, and a willingness to deliberately carve out a future for Nigeria. Over the past few years, Lagos has not just simply talked about innovation, it has begun to institutionalize it. We are seeing strategic investments in research and development to support talent and ideas, the development of legal frameworks to strengthen science, research, and innovation ecosystems in the state, the agglomeration of all of the stakeholders to be able to shape the future, driving innovation partnerships with the private sector, and placing innovation at the center of public and private life. All of these activities has led to an increase of innovation-led activity in Lagos State. And what are some of these things that we've been able to do? Between 2020 and 2026, an increase of over 250% of innovation-led activity within and outside government in Lagos. An increased onshoring of digital workloads that were previously domiciled abroad. An encouragement of critical infrastructure investment in Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, for Lagos State, the roadmap is clear. We must innovate. Technology is not just optional, it is foundational for our future. And we are also witnessing something even more powerful, a shift from potential to participation, from consuming technology to building it, from admiring innovation to funding it, from talking about AI to actively deploying it across sectors like health, agriculture, education, through initiatives, of course, like the AI Scaling Hub. And right here in Unilag, this great institution continues to position itself as a continental hub for research, collaboration, and innovation. I must say, from us in Lagos, through our Lagos State Science Research and Innovation Council, Unilag receives more than 60% of our research and development funds in Lagos. It's a testament to the focused leadership and the determination with which this institution moves ahead. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm from Lagos State. You know, there is an institution that is near and dear to our heart. I don't want to mention the name because I'm in Unilag today. But, you know, Unilag is very special in our hearts. But, I mean, you bear the name Lagos. So we have no choice but to work with you. Now, this AI UniPod is not arriving in isolation. It is arriving at the right time, in the right place, within a city that has decided to take innovation seriously. And that alignment is powerful. Let us be honest for a moment. Launching something is exciting. Maintaining it, improving it, funding it consistently, this is where the real work begins. Because in Nigeria, I must commend, we launch very good things. However, we are still working on improving our relationship with sustaining them. And as such, that is why today must be different. This UniPod must become a living system, not a static space. A pipeline of talent, not just a training center. A bridge between academia and industry, not a silo. The United States of America funds 30% of its research and development work through the government. And I'm sure we know all those institutions. The National Institutes of Health, DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, Oak Ridge Laboratories, you know, leaders in supercomputing. But 70% of R&D patent work, innovations comes from the private sector. So for the institutional leaders here and the private sector captains of industry, before you think about importing a solution, try and solve it in Unilag first. To give a very good example, the MIT Media Lab in Cambridge, Massachusetts, is a prime example of how industry and academia can collaborate to be able to sustain this very significant investment. Most of the technology majors pay the MIT Media Lab a subscription every year to be able to access the research institution, the equipment, the professors for their next big idea. The only reason why the technology majors are still relevant today is because of research, development, and innovation. In fact, it's even spreading to China. And if you look at Huawei, which is one of the top communication companies in the world, 25% of their revenue is on R&D. And that's why over the past 10 years, they filed nothing less than 125,000 patents. And of course, you see that in everything that you are doing now, especially for my colleagues in the telecoms industry. We know the power Huawei has today. And so, to all our partners, I must commend my colleagues in government that are here today. You have laid important foundations, from enabling policies to funding research to supporting young innovators. Our next step is continuity, because innovation ecosystems do not grow on announcements, they grow on long-term commitments. To our industry leaders, the opportunity here is very clear. Do not wait for fully formed talent. Help shape it. Invest in research, collaborate with universities. Bring your real-world problems into spaces like this. Because somewhere in this room, there is somebody who can solve your problem your organization has been struggling with for years. They just need the access. They need the guidance and a very good, stable Wi-Fi. To our researchers, this is your moment to deepen relevance. Let your work not only advance knowledge, let it advance society. Because the most powerful research is not what sits on a shelf. It is what changes how people live. And to the students here, let me say this clearly. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be. But what you do next matters. Use this space. Ask difficult questions. Build things that fail. I will say that again. Build things that fail. And then when you fail, build it again. Collaborate across disciplines. And most importantly, do not wait for innovation to innovate. If you see a problem, solve it. Ladies and gentlemen, across Lagos today, and by extension, Nigeria, something is happening. From the classrooms to the startups, from the policy rooms to the coding labs, a new narrative is forming that Nigeria can build world-class technology consistency. So the question is no longer, can we do it? The real question is, will we keep doing it? Because the success of the AI UniPod will not be measured by today's applause, but by the ideas that will be built here, the partnerships formed here, and the solutions that would leave this place and transform lives. So today is not just a launch. Let it be a commitment to show up, to build continuously, invest deliberately, and collaborate boldly. Let us move from moment to momentum, from excitement to execution, from promise to progress. And years from now, when we look back, let it be said that this was not the day we started something new, but the day we decided to keep doing it together. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think he spelled it all out. The real work begins today with consistency, that sustainability, and that ability to make this a living system, I think is all of our collective responsibilities here today. Please, another round of applause.
And Shay, important to mention, to innovate, you must be creative.
Certainly.
Don't you agree? Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot go on without recognizing the significance of creativity and innovation. Please give that a round of applause if you agree. Yeah.
I know we have many of the creative department as well here, many of the students from that side,
Absolutely.
that sector, right? So please, round of applause again. I would always say that the largest amount of disruption has really happened on the creative side, right? So you really have to have that juxtaposition between technology and creativity.
Absolutely. So please allow me to warmly welcome Bikia Graham Douglas. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us here. Again, thank you to many of our esteemed partners who are gracing us with a presence today. So as we quickly move along, I think that, for our next speaker, we really have to see the intentionality, right? At the forefront of Nigeria's digital transformation and innovation agenda, right, is a leader whose work continues to shape the country's transition into a knowledge-based economy. He's building for that sustainability. Over the last couple of weeks, right, we've witnessed, the partnerships launch for the, through MTT program. We've seen the work with the Digital Bridge Initiative just last week, right? We were in Abuja at NIGECOMSAT's Satellite Week and Space Accelerator Demo Day. There's a lot that is happening. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Minister of Communications, Innovation, and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President's distinguished Senator Ibrahim Adeja. Your Excellency, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, represented by my dear brother, the Commissioner for Innovation, Science and Technology. Your Excellency, our dear Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Walton Jack. My dear sister, Professor Suwaiba Saidu Ahmed, the Honorable Minister of State for Education, and our adopted sister and my neighbor, Ms. Elsie Atafua, the resident representative of the United Nations Development Program, Mr. Sonny Achono, the Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TETFund, our very host, our dear Vice-Chancellor, and members of the University of Lagos, and greatest Nigerian students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the Chief Marketing Officer for Artificial Intelligence in Nigeria, it is, of course, a pleasure for me to be here at the launch of this first of its kind initiative today. And I would like to begin, of course, by acknowledging the office of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, TETFund, and UNDP for collaborating to deliver this
extremely worthwhile initiative for our country. Your partnership is a significant contribution to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration's efforts to ensure that our investment in education, technology translates into innovation, enterprise, and economic value. For decades, universities such as University of Lagos have served, and they're being pushed to continue to serve as engines of knowledge generation. But beyond that, as a source of creativity and problem solving for countries all over the world. So what we're here today to launch as a contribution towards strengthening your capacity to become the true engine of creation, of problem solving, of entrepreneurship, and increased contribution to national productivity through application of technology. But I'd like to distort the thinking here today. Much has been said about artificial intelligence and entrepreneurship and creativity. But I think being in a university environment and limiting conversation on artificial intelligence to just entrepreneurship will be doing injustice to the true potentials of this technology. I've had the privilege of joining platforms all over the world where we've explored the role of AI in science. As we know, for any nation to be competitive, we can't just build on knowledge that has been generated. We have to contribute to the process of knowledge generation. So when we're privileged to have an investment in artificial intelligence pod in a university, the conversation should not just be on what students will build, but on how researchers will leverage AI for science. AI for science, for those who may not know, is the use of artificial intelligence to accelerate scientific discovery, experimentation, and the understanding across fields like biology, physics, chemistry, agriculture, and climate science. Science, you may describe as a study of patterns, right? Maybe oversimplification, but I'm sure the professors in the room understand what I mean by that. And artificial intelligence is the tool that helps us to study pattern at scale. So the best countries in the world are not just building new AI solutions. When we're in an academic gathering, the conversation is not just about another generative AI tool, but what can AI do to help us accelerate the studies that we conduct? When we have to work with a large body of data, how well can we leverage artificial intelligence to be able to make sense of that data? And I think the biggest challenge I would like to leave with the university community today is not just to support this initiative as one that is focused on exciting students to build new ideas. Of course, we'd like to see that. But also one that gives the opportunity to local researchers to be able to do groundbreaking research by leveraging new ideas on artificial intelligence to stand out. Artificial intelligence, as we know, is particularly useful when you're thinking of raising the level of productivity, doing things that humans cannot do easily. And this is why, as universities, we must embrace it, because it's simply a way of aggregating everything we know and teaching machines to be able to take decisions that humans cannot take. So imagine if we document everything that we all know in the room today and teach it to a machine. That machine automatically becomes smarter than each one of us, and all of us also put together, because the machine can now use our insight and knowledge more actively. So this is why this investment is important. We shouldn't look at it as another tech hub. I know University of Lagos, you have a number of tech hubs here. So this is not just another random tech hubs that has been donated to the university. This tech hub is one that should be connecting this university to the future, And as such, as you're connected to the future, you drag Nigeria along because we also have to step into the future as well. With this being the first UniPod which is focused on AI and digital innovation, I believe that UNDP is already setting the university on that journey. And I hope that the university will leverage it to stand out. But not just stand out, but also lead as well, because we expect to see more from UNDP in states like Akwa Ibom, Kaduna, Abia, Nasarawa, Benue, and Borno. Ensuring that this opportunity is not only available to just a few people in one location, but that it's available to corners of Nigeria, but most importantly, that we can connect all of these locations together to do groundbreaking things. Under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and being implemented by the strategic blueprints of the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation, and Digital Economy, we have set a clear ambition to position Nigeria within the top 25th percentile globally in AI. This is extremely ambitious. I hope you heard that. 25th percentile globally in AI. When we set this agenda, of course, a few people weren't sure if it was achievable. The ambition reflects our focus on economic competitiveness and national productivity, because we know that the future we all desire will not happen if we don't prioritize productivity. And there's no productivity in the world we live in today without artificial intelligence. Whether you think of agriculture or even in education, the countries that are leading and will continue to lead are those that are able to apply artificial intelligence. We thought it wasn't achievable, but when we assumed office in 2023, Nigeria ranked 103 globally amongst 175 countries on Oxford government AI readiness. Today, we stand at 72 in just under 3 years. We have moved by over 32 places in a relatively short period. I think if my math is Martin, that should be about 33 percentile that we're in now just in 3 years. So imagine what's possible in another 1 or 2 years. We know what we need to fix and we're working on it. And if you had 1 or 2 years or another 4 years, imagine what is possible. So that's where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is taking Nigeria. That progress is the result of a deliberate choice of government, by government, to invest in policy, in people.
So living in life, and research-wise, I published together with some colleagues a denoising and maintaining the.
See if what you are really building is trustworthy, it's safe, it's usable, and can deliver value to the customers. And so for me, I think it's building AI systems that people know that are safe, and the usability and just from the point of view of how are we engaging people, across stratas, different industries. If you go to the Lagos State website now,
for Innovation, and of course the TETFund Executive Secretary, the UNDP Resident Representative, other distinguished dignitaries, our young innovators. I would just like to...
Making. Everyone say AI.